Hey everybody, welcome to a Wednesday Mike Talk. Thank you guys for being with me today. It's so good to be with you. As you can tell, I'm in Havana. I'm on the Illinois River. It's one of my favorite places to kind of chill and to walk and get inspired, see God's creation. Hope you guys are well today. God bless you guys. Hey, I just want to give you a heads up. This afternoon sometime, or maybe this evening, sometime today, we're going to post what we recorded in the church on Lincoln Street, not Lincoln Street, Jefferson Street. I'm never going to get it right. The church building that we're hoping to buy and that we're praying about, I'm posting the whole 19-minute message. So if you get a chance, would you look at it and would you share that with somebody? And would you share the vision that we have? Now I think we're down, don't quote me on this, but I think it's 49 days out of the 52 days left still. And so we're praying that God's going to provide people to move into this building. That may be you. To serve in this building. That may be you. And for $250,000 to be raised in 52 days. Why? That's because that's how long it took them to build the wall in Nehemiah's day when they came back to Jerusalem. So I'm praying for you guys. I hope that that's something that you're praying about and thinking about. Also, this Sunday we get another chance to give, and really excited about that, to bring some supplies to restock the pantries for WIT with some toilet paper and paper towel products and diapers and wipes and all that kind of stuff. There's the practical stuff that's so expensive for people that can't afford it. We get to bring that. Bring it this Sunday at 9 and 10:30 the Chateau and our worship services, and then we'll take them and stock the place. Okay? Is that cool? You guys got all that? One more thing. Text prayer to that number on the screen, and we'll pray for you because that's what we do every day. All right? Okay, so here's the deal. Acts chapter 9. That's where we're going to be today. When we think about all of this stuff that's going on and all the trying to find a new church and starting a new church and Song and Sword Church moving forward and growing and all the stuff that takes. It can be a scary and daunting thing. So I'm going to bring you today to a scary proposition that God gave to a guy that's really not known except for this one story in Acts chapter 9. Acts chapter 9 verse 10, here's the story. Now there was a disciple at Damascus named Ananias. And the Lord said to him in a vision, Ananias, and he said, Here I am, Lord. And the Lord said to him, Rise and go to the street called Straight, and at the house of Judas, look for a man of Tarsus named Saul, for behold, he's praying. And he has seen a vision of a man named Ananias come in and lay hands on him so that he might regain his sight. But Ananias answered, Lord, I have heard from many about this man, how much evil he has done to your saints at Jerusalem. And here he has authority from the chief priest to bind all who call on your name. But the Lord said to him, Go, for he is my chosen instrument of mine to carry my name before the Gentiles and the kings and the children of Israel. What an incredible, challenging, scary thing that God gives to Ananias. Remember, Saul, what you may not remember or have forgotten, is that Saul was persecuting Christians. He was on his way to Damascus to kill Christians, to put them in jail. Ananias happens to be one of those disciples, one of those believers that lives up there. Sorry, there's bugs down here today. But the deal is that Ananias receives a vision that says, you need to go lay hands on Saul. And all Ananias knows, he doesn't know the first part of chapter 9. All he knows is, isn't this the guy that's killing Christians? And God gives him a challenge. There's two things to this I really want to challenge you with today, because I know sometimes there are things in life, even as you're following God, completely within His will, that feel scary and they're not explainable, and you really just don't want to do them. And Ananias, there's two things. Number one, Ananias didn't know the whole story. Ananias didn't know that God had literally knocked Paul off of his, as Saul at this point, off of his high horse, and had caused him to be blind for 3 days and was appearing to him and calling him to be his apostle. Ananias had no idea. All Ananias knew was go to this street, find this guy named Saul, and lay your hands on him. And Ananias is thinking, man, Lord, don't you know the whole story? The fact is, the Lord knows the whole story. In fact, he says, I've chosen this man. He's going to be a chosen instrument of mine to carry the message to the Gentiles and the kings. And that's exactly what the Apostle Paul does. And so here's the thing today. What is scary for you today? For me, I'm not going to act like it's not a scary proposition to challenge a group of people who trust you and love you and prayed with you and have kept you supported all the way to this point. It's not a scary proposition to try to move into a new church building that we're going to purchase based on all of our giving in less than a year. That's preposterous. And yet, that's what God's calling us to. And maybe God's calling you to serve. Maybe God's calling you to give. Maybe God's calling you to repair a relationship. I don't know what scary proposition the Lord seems to be leaning into you today, but I know this, just like the situation with Ananias, God's running far ahead. God knows the whole circumstance. And if He asks you to do it, He's going to see you through it. You guys know the story. Ananias goes and lays hands on Saul. Saul receives his sight. Saul is baptized. And the rest, as they say, is history. Saul goes on to change the world, writes most of the New Testament as we know it, based on the churches that he planted. What an incredible story. But what if Ananias would have said, I'm too scared, God. I can't do it. He went. He obeyed. God was ahead of him. God had a plan. And that's the same for us today. God has a plan for us. So don't be afraid. Whatever it is, go forward knowing that God's ahead of it. He's got a plan for it. And He can use you to walk by faith through that fear. That's what I'm praying for you today on this Wednesday. Pray for me as I study and I write and I plan not only the sermon for Sunday, but the sermons for the fall for our all-church study. And God's blessing be upon you. I'm going to head up to Stella May's nice little cafe here. That's where I find my Wi-Fi here. Peace, kids. Love you.